Hey folks, welcome to John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. We're heading up to LaCrosse, Wisconsin for Mississippi perch. These fish are all in our harbors.
Close to 14 there.
Are you having fun?
I'm having a blast.
Fleet Farm presents John Gillespie's Waters and Woods. Fleet Farm, the ultimate fishing headquarters.
Yes, folks, it is a foggy, cool morning in September, and we're actually in what I think is one of the most beautiful parts of the Midwest, and that is LaCrosse, Wisconsin. And we're on the Mississippi River, one of my favorite trips of the year, and we are going for jumbo perch and jumbo bluegills, right, Vince?
That's right, and it looks like it's going to be a beautiful day. It's nice and cool. There's no wind. Can't really see the bluffs right now. It's foggy, but it'll clear up here later today.
Well, we got a special guest with us today as usual. It's Henry Abbott, who's been hanging out on the show the last couple months. You know that?
Oh, yeah. He was with us when we caught all those cohos.
Yeah, he just wants to have fish to take home, you know?
I think we'll take care of him today.
All right. Hey, we'll have fun, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Hey, folks, so show what we're using and how we're using it. All of that coming up right after this.
Use a Polar trailer or cart to check off your to-dos easily and quickly. All Polar trailers and carts are built to last and come with a 5-year warranty. Polar trailers and carts are built for projects, no matter what you have to get done. These trailers and carts can withstand anything when you put them to the test. They are built strong. Polar trailers and carts, built for lawn, garden, farm, and field to help you get all your outside projects done.
You know, folks, Amsoil is the sportsman's best friend. They've got a product for all of our machines, our boats, our ATVs, our trucks, and now they've got a product to clean everything up. This is the Amsoil Car and Boat Care Interior Detailer. And when we're trailering down the road, we get dust and dirt on our seats. So before I put in on the water, Dan's gonna clean up my stuff.
Yeah, this interior detailer is really good for cars and boats. So plastics, vinyl, leather, anything that gets dirty and dusty inside a boat or a truck.
Well, you just cleaned that seat, and I'll tell you what, it brought it back to almost new looking.
Yeah, doesn't this look nice? I mean, the grain on that comes out, the color's coming back out, looks like it's brand new.
Hey folks, look for Amsoil's Interior Car and Boat Detailer at amsoil.com. Hey, welcome back, folks. As we talked about the Mississippi River in LaCrosse, Wisconsin, and we're after jumbo perch today, and we may get some jumbo bluegills too. And Vince, this is not high-tech fishing. You've got a great system set up for this. Explain the drop shot.
So it's super simple. What we do is we tie this Eagle Claw Aberdeen hook. I use a size 6. You tie a long tag end, anywhere from half a foot to a foot long, and just put the sinker below it. I love this rig on the river. You can put on different size weights really easily depending on the current you're in. You can adjust your depth really easily, and you feel everything super well with it. It's super direct. You feel the lightest bites doing this.
Hey, I'll tell you what, 2 minutes on the water,
Yeah.
and Vince has the first perch of the day.
Right.
Perfect eater, isn't it?
It is. That's about a 10. It's not a monster. Obviously, they get way bigger out here, but it doesn't get better than that to put in the cooler and take home.
Oh, Henry Abbott. Hey, Henry, you know, you eat a lot of fish, buddy. What is your favorite fish to eat?
Oh, it's perch for sure.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah.
And hold that one up. Now, what is that, Vince? That's about a 9-10, right?
Yeah, 9.5, about the same size as the one I had.
Well, I'll tell you what. Now, that's a nice perch.
That's
right
a nice
there.
one.
Now, that's 10-11, right?
He's about 11, yeah.
Now,
Real
Vince,
nice one.
as we get on into later September, October, the fishing actually gets better.
Yep, the colder it gets, the better this bite gets. Not that it's bad now by any means, but we're not seeing a ton of the big river monsters that we're known for yet. They're kind of random. But as we get into fall, you'll find schools where you can get a whole limit of those 12 plus.
I mean, that's a nice perch.
Oh, yeah.
Folks, this really is one of the most relaxing ways to fish. And Vince, maybe you can show the folks what you do. You cast out, and what's your retrieve like, or do you just let it sit there?
So we're working a weed line, John, and the goal is to plant it right next to those weeds and just let it sit there. You know, these weeds are super thick, super dense. You can't really go inside of them. So you just want to get it as close as you can and let it sit there, and they'll come out of the weeds and eat it.
Oh, look at that, a bluegill.
Big bluegill.
Holy cow, hold that up to your hand. That's got to be 8.5, isn't it?
Definitely, and super thick and healthy.
You know, that's one thing you and we did it a couple of years ago, came out and targeted bluegills. This is really a bluegill factory too, isn't it?
It is, and we don't get the monster 10.5, 11s. Honestly, a 10 is pretty rare, but they're thick and healthy and super strong living in this river system.
Ooh, Vince.
Yeah.
And
another nice bluegill.
Those are just really beautiful.
Oh, they're so healthy, Vince, out here.
And you know, you mentioned before that we're fishing a weed edge. What if guys come out here? You just drive around, and what depth are you looking at?
Typically under 10 feet, anywhere from 3 to 7. I really, with the weed bite, I don't pay too close attention to the depth. It's more just finding the right weeds. There's a few things I look for on the graph. Like, I want the densest weeds possible. That's where you're gonna have the most food for these, the most cover for them, and the biggest density of the fish themselves.
You know, we just moved, Henry, and these fish the grade of these fish is running a little bit bigger.
Yeah, definitely a little bit bigger, John. That's another good 10-incher.
Are you cleaning for me?
I am. I'll get you yours.
Hey, Chicago viewers, the Blackhawks are moving, the Bulls are moving, and the White Sox are moving. And we're moving too, to the brand new Chicago Sports Network. Effective October the 5th, Saturday morning at 9, we'll be on the brand new Chicago Sports Network. That is interesting, as I said to Henry before, we just moved down the weed line a little bit, and that's part of your technique, isn't it, Vince? You don't stay put.
No, I hardly ever stay put. It's move, move, move. You'll hit a spot where there's a pot of them, pick them off as quick as you can, and then all of a sudden they stop biting.
There, guys. And that's where that Minn Kota spot lock system is tremendous.
It is. You can stop on a dime and it holds you right there.
Yes. Oh, it's a bluegill. That's why I caught him, folks. Now, I'm having really, as I said before, I'm really having trouble reading the bite. I mean, your rod tip goes doot, 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 and then I hit him and there's nothing there. I'm watching these guys catch all the fish. But look at how wide these bluegills are. The width on these fish is really outstanding. And again, each guy can keep 15 of those, 15 perch. Folks, really, this is such a cool trip. And if you got kids, or you want to, you know, bring your son or daughter along, the action is phenomenal, isn't it, Vince?
It is. You know, it's a bite almost every cast, and it's really simple. You know, we're casting 20 feet from the boat. If we need to use bobbers, we can use bobbers. It's great for kids. Just the amount of bites you get, there's constantly something biting.
That's your very next cast.
Yeah, that's 3 in a row right there.
That's incredible.
And these are beautiful.
And again, Vince, I'm making them, I'm getting my worm stole all the time.
Right. I'd started letting them tap it a couple times. This one hit it pretty hard, but some of them are definitely a real light bite.
Vincey!
Doing circles, you know what that means.
Yeah, they are fun to catch.
They are.
But you know, for folks that haven't been over here to the LaCrosse area, maybe you can talk a little bit about the beauty of this area. It really is a unique part of the state.
It is. It looks totally different than the east side of Wisconsin. We have the bluffs on either side of the river. You know, we don't have that topography over by Milwaukee where you and I are from, and it feels like you're in a different state to me. Here we go.
Unbelievably fast. Ooh, that's a nice
that's a nice
right
one
there. Now that's 10.5, right?
Yeah, it might even be closer to 11, but fat and healthy. Great build on these ones.
And Vince, you know, seriously, most days do you limit out?
Most days, yeah, we come very close. So like right now we've got gills and perch mixed together. Typically you're gonna get at least a limit of one, if not both species.
I put a bobber on, folks. I was missing so many. Ooh, that's a nice perch right there. But no, seriously, those guys, there's a knack to catching these things when they bite. And I put a bobber on and that's helping me a little bit. But we're only fishing in about 5 feet of water and I got that bobber set so it's about 8 inches off the bottom. Hey, look, what, we got 2 or 1?
We got 2.
There you go.
This is better than mine.
Henry, that's a beauty.
Yeah.
That really is a nice one. And when you clean these, Henry, how do you do them?
I just fillet them like a normal fish.
Use
you know.
electric knife?
Yes, I do.
And is that a lot more efficient?
It is. You can do them faster. You get just as much meat off of them.
And you skin them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
There you go,
What you got,
John.
Henry?
A nice gill.
Oh, that is a beautiful bluegill. How big do you catch them here, Vince?
The biggest I really ever see are 10s, and those are rare, but 9, 9 1/4, 9 1/2 aren't too uncommon. That's
What I'm
probably
impressed at, though, is the average size. I mean, you get a lot of 8, 9s and
Yep, and they're super healthy compared to a bluegill off an inland lake where an 8's kind of skinnier. Our 8s are just fat and thick and built really well.
Breaking news from Fleet Farm. Check out this deal. All sizes and colors of Rapala ribbon wraps are on sale. Buy 3 and get 1 free.
Henry just caught that bluegill, and I will add a perch to the pile there. And again, as Vince said earlier in the program, folks, the colder the water gets as we get more into fall, the bigger that these perch will get. And I want to mention, too, that Vince has one of the more unique ice guiding services in the state. And Vince, maybe you can explain to the boat folks, it's an airboat, right?
That's correct. So we use airboats to get around out here in winter. With it being a river system, there's almost always pockets of open water to cross or really thin ice over some of the areas with heavy current. And with those airboats, we can fill them full of people and gear. We can break through ice, we can cross open water, drive down solid ice. We can basically get wherever.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing. I mean, you know, I've fished with you a number of times doing that. There's nobody else on your spot, and the fishing is excellent ice fishing.
It is. Winter can be a ton of fun out here. You get in these little backwater holes without any current, and they're just loaded up, and it's a lot of fun.
We were fishing the Mississippi River in LaCrosse, Wisconsin. A 3.5-hour drive from Milwaukee, 4.5 hours from Chicago, and 2 hours from Minneapolis.
Out here, it takes a certain type. The type who's always the first one out. The type who knows deep down everyone else is just fishing for second. Enter the Apex Series. See more fish. Seize more victories. Settle for nothing less. With unrivaled clarity, it's the top fish finder for the most demanding type of angler. Only from Humminbird.
Folks, I've relied on Johnson Pump products for many years, and now they're even better. Check out the new Aqua Void Bilge and the Aqua O2 Aerator.
The best advantage with the new products is no tools necessary to replace your motor cartridge. Quick watertight connector and the same easy change cartridge. With the new motor cartridges, we have a high efficiency impeller and a low amp draw motor. To the angler, they're going to have faster fill of their live wells, and they're going to have better aeration along with a faster evacuation of their bilge. This pump will fit on any boat. It has a multi-configuration inlet port as well as a 360 rotation outlet port.
Johnson Pump, reliability on board.
There's another one, John.
I'm very proud of you, Henry.
Another gill.
You got this system down. And I told you I had to go to the bobber, you know.
Yeah, why not? Something different.
But no, seriously, it's a pick, and then hit.
Yep. You just gotta let it, give it a couple little shots, and
Drop shotting is a good system too.
It's fun, yeah.
It keeps you right in the strike zone all the time.
Yep.
Before you throw that one into the live well there, Henry, I want to add another one. Look at that. And you know what's so neat, folks, is the coloring on these fish. I mean, look at the beautiful coloring there. And again, just using half of a night crawler and a gold Aberdeen hook. And I like the gold hooks too, because a lot of times I think that they act as an attractant to the fish. But you know, that's a nice solid 8.5 right there. That's going to be a triple
another big
and another
gill.
bluegill.
Yeah.
Henry, take those two up there and stand next to Vince. And I'm just really impressed at the bluegill fishing here. And that's literally, you'll get those in the ice too, right, when you're perch fishing?
Yep, these will be mixed in, same thing in winter, and it's hard to beat this size. I mean, we're obviously not really targeting the gills, but how can you say no to them being mixed right in?
No, and that's 3 in one time. And again, you're not staying in one spot. You're slowly moving the weed line.
Yep, we're moving a lot. When we get some bites, I'll hit spot lock and stop us. you know, get a couple, they stop biting, keep moving.
There's another one, John.
You know, you're not doing too bad for a Cubs fan.
We're Packer fan today.
No, I know, but everybody that sees you on the show is wondering about this Cub affiliation that you have, and they were a last place team for a long time this year.
Well, they're not right now. We're
right.
heading
Still not first place.
We're not first place, but we're getting there.
And do you like the Milwaukee Brewers?
No, I do not.
Seriously?
Not at all.
Why not? They're a great team.
They're a good team.
Better manager than the Cubs.
Yeah.
There we go, John.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you are hot.
Yeah, we're getting them now.
And we, you know, what is that one, Vince? That's about 9, 10?
Yeah, I'd say 10, 10 and a quarter. A great eater, and like I keep saying, a really good build on it.
And you get the same perch through the ice?
We do, yep. And as always, you have a shot at one of those real big ones, a 14, 14 and a half.
Henry.
Another one, John.
You guys are kicking butt up there in the front of the boat.
Up in the front of the boat.
That's why I get third water, right? Hey, you've never been over to this area before, Henry. It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It is. The fishing's really good, obviously, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You got all the rolling hills, and yeah, we're the only people out here. Can't see another boat.
Can you bring Deb over here?
I could, for sure.
Yeah, she'd like this, though, actually.
Would. John?
The man's on fire.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Now that in a month will still be considered. Oh, look at he's got.
he came off.
You just missed one. You guys are red hot up there.
Front of the boat.
No, but seriously, in a month that'll be the average, and bigger. I mean, that's how incredible this fish
Well, that's
is.
a beautiful fish.
And Vince, one thing I need to ask you, buddy, you know, when you go to northern Wisconsin, it takes a perch to reach 10 inch, probably 5-6 years. Mm-hmm. What's the growth rate here in the Mississippi?
Out here, they say that's about 3 to 4 years. They grow incredibly fast, and they have a ton of food. They're eating bluegills, minnows, snails. They have endless food out here, and they're
again, how long?
3 to 4 years to get to that 10 to 12 inch size.
I mean, that's
they grow
really
quick.
incredible.
Yeah.
So the supply is constantly being replenished.
It is, and they seem to spawn incredibly well, because there's places we could go and get all the ones this size we wanted.
Really?
Yep.
So there's all different year classes all
There
over
is.
the
It
place.
seems to be doing phenomenal out here.
There we go. Nice. Yeah. Vince,
You got a bigger one again.
Oh, Henry,
that's a real
that's a
one.
nice perch, Henry. That really is.
That's a dandy.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now we're getting into the fall type pattern right there with that one. And I love it when they get like that knob on the back of their head as they get bigger, you
They
know.
have super bright fins on them, those big ones.
Well, they just caught their 2 in a row, and I've got myself a look at the width on that bluegill. That is a beauty right there. And it's kind of interesting, folks. I took a couple of casts before with just a piece of a night crawler, and Vince, they wouldn't hit that. You got to have a pretty big piece on there like I've got right here. You want to use definitely a half a crawler.
It seems like today they definitely aren't going to eat that little piece of crawler. We're using about a half. Oh, there's another nice eater.
Yep. But definitely put a half on.
And that's how, I mean, some days they're super picky like that. Here in a couple weeks, it's going to kind of turn into a minnow bite once that water temp gets down a little bit. And then a lot of times in fall, once they go to minnows, we can get them pretty good on plastics too some days.
Oh, really?
Which is a lot of fun. You're not baiting your hook every time you get one.
You really got this down, don't you?
He does.
Yeah, I got her.
Can you smell what's going on in the back of the boat here? I've got some Johnsonvilles on the grill.
I'm hungry, so that'll work.
You know, nothing better when you're out on the Mississippi River than having a warm Johnsonville brat.
No doubt.
Of course, you can flay that up and make a perch sandwich, too.
We could.
Well, you know, football season is in full swing now, and I know that you enjoy the Packers, right?
I do.
You're a Cubs fan that enjoys the Packers.
Absolutely.
That I really enjoy, too. But whether you're at Soldier Field or Lambeau Field, there is one brat that is the best, and that is Johnsonville Fresh Brats. I love them. Premium cuts of pork, and of course they got their own special Johnsonville spices they put in. I love to just put them on the grill, Henry, and they take about 20 minutes. Every 5 minutes I'm cooking them, but you don't want to use too high a heat because that will break the skins and you lose the Johnsonville juices.
Don't want to do that.
All right, buddy, go ahead. Johnsonville regular brat.
Well, best there is.
Isn't that outstanding?
It is.
And you know what? I like the Italians too. But folks, look for Johnsonville regular brats at your favorite retailer today. Vince?
Front of the boat.
No, it's not front of the boat. It's skill level. You guys are highly skilled on the perch, really, though. And that's another what? What are these
That's
averaging?
a 9.5. Our average today is probably 10. You know, not monsters, but great ones to clean and eat.
There we go. And another just average, beautiful perch right there. And like I said before, folks, you don't have to cast out a long way. It's just kind of a flip. And you can actually see the weeds that come up to the top of the water there. And what Vince does is position us on the very edge of that. So it's just a flip to the edge of the weed line and you get bit, and Henry's got one. Well, I had a nice perch back here. What do you got up there? A big bluegill. And you do a lot of bluegill fishing, Henry. The average size, this is pretty impressive.
They're thick.
Yeah.
That's the thing about them, is they're just so thick.
And again, you're cleaning them.
Yeah, I'm cleaning them.
When you're meeting with a client, it's so important that you're present with them and you're listening. I've heard lawyers say your job as a trial lawyer is to read the law, understand the law, make the argument. You can't get emotionally connected with your client. I completely disagree with that. In order to tell your client's story, you want to learn what's important to them. Sit down and have a meal together. Learn about their family. Learn about their history. Learn about where they're from. You have to emotionally connect with them. It's their story. It's not ours. And the only way to do that in an effective way is to truly care, to truly connect, and listen.
It is nonstop, folks. Ooh, there, now that is a beautiful bluegill right there. That is a really nice fish. And Vince, is the bobber a crutch for me, do you think?
Every fall on this bite, there's people who will use bobbers too. And there's even days where sometimes the bobber is more effective than this method. But, you know, you just kind of got to play with stuff every day.
I guess I found the bluegill spot. Oh, no, that's a nice perch right there. I mean, that's been the average today, folks. Oh, I mean, what tremendous eats this is going to be. And Henry's cleaning these for me. Whoa, there we go. Folks, it's time now to announce this week's winners of the Fleet Farm John Gillespie's Waters and Woods 2024 Fishing Contest.
This week's first winner is Wayne Hibbard of 50 Lakes, Minnesota, caught this 31-inch walleye on Fox Lake using a wrap. John Koss of Muskego, Wisconsin, caught this 40-inch snook salmon on Lake Michigan using a spoon. Sophia Labaskus of Shorewood, Illinois, caught this 13-inch bluegill on a pond using a night crawler. Kelly McDonald of McHenry, Illinois, caught this 22.5-inch smallmouth bass on a pond using a MEPS. And this week's first kid winner is Hannah Mankey of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, caught this 14-inch crappie using a minnow on Beaver Dam Lake. And Jake Vogel of Oregon, Wisconsin, caught this 25-inch largemouth bass in the Madison chain using a plastic worm.
Each week, I shop online at fleetfarm.com to check out the latest deals.
This week, the Rapala Rippin' Wraps are on sale. All sizes and colors are buy 3, get 1 free.
There we go. It is interesting. Oh, that is a nice one, right? Vince, look at that guy.
Oh, yeah, that's a fat one.
That's a beautiful perch. And it is kind of interesting. You know, obviously, like I said before, we're casting up to the edge of the weeds. But that was kind of interesting, Vince. I worked that one back to the boat, and he hit right by the side of the boat. Is that unusual?
No. Today they don't seem to be in that mood a ton where they'll follow it off the weeds. But it's definitely not uncommon for them, if you work that bait all the way to the boat, where they'll bite right at the end when you're picking it up.
I've lost count, Vince.
Me too.
I mean, really, this has been an unbelievable morning.
This is a ton of fun.
And this is average, right, what we're doing today?
Yeah, and these obviously, we don't have many that are real big ones, but they're all nice, 10 to 11, 11 and a half.
And again, just for the folks at home to know, what's your biggest here?
16 is my biggest. I've seen it once, so don't expect that. But we do see probably a dozen or more 15s in a year.
Sometimes we see a lot of 14s in a day.
Oh yeah, like that day we had last fall.
Yeah, and that was amazing.
Those days are coming up here soon.
And that was in October, so October's the prime month, you'd say?
I'd say so. Even November, if it doesn't get super, super cold, can be really good for the big ones.
So you'll guide into November?
Yep, till the boat ramps freeze.
Do you have any openings, by the way?
I do. We've got some in October yet, and a lot in November.
We should tell the folks, Vince, what have we been fishing? Well, that's a nice gill. What have we been doing fishing? About 3 hours?
Yeah, it hasn't been too long. We've been staying busy though, man. They haven't stopped biting all day, really. That's a beautiful bluegill.
Yeah, how big is that's 9, right?
Yeah, he's probably right there, 8 3/4, 9, and super tall and thick.
That is so cool. Right by the, oh, look at that. And you know, we haven't even needed it today, but Vince said, we catch enough perch, I got a backup spot for bluegills. But you take a look at that. Who needs a backup spot when you got these mixed in with the perch? Vince, there we go.
Yeah.
There we
I
go.
finally got one
Henry, there.
bigger than Henry.
Yeah, you got me this time.
No, I mean, seriously, guys. And what we did, you know, we didn't get a bite for about, what, 5 minutes? So you moved us down a little bit?
Yep.
We found another school right away, right?
Yep, our spot kind of slowed down, so I started moving down the weeds and bang, bang right away.
Let's see. Oh, there's another dandy. Aren't those gorgeous, Henry?
These are great fish, John.
You know, and I don't know anybody that fishes that doesn't love perch.
No, how can you not? They're fun to catch. They're great to eat.
Now, Vince, that's got a pretty big back on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a real nice one. That's probably 12 and a half.
Hey, Henry. Whoa. I'll tell you what, we are, oh, that is a beauty. Grab that one, Vince. We are getting near to the end of our day. And Henry, that is a gorgeous perch. And, I mean, hasn't this, we fished, what, 3.5 hours?
Yes, I cannot wait to come back and do this again, too. This was a really quick 3 hours, a lot of fish.
And don't forget, October, we were here in October last year. We got a lot of 13 and 14, so
yeah.
The best fishing's yet to come.
Vince Moldenhauer guides the Mississippi River on a daily basis. For more information, give Vince a call. That phone number is 414-791-5534. 791-5534.
I'm getting too old for this. So, John, you haven't heard of Brian's Custom Steps?
Oh, Pete, those are awesome. How can I get a set?
Yeah, I love these big no-slip platforms, and they're made right here in Wisconsin. For more information on Brian's Custom Steps, call 920-315-0333. And you do have some openings.
We do. We've got openings in October and November, and it's a great time to get out here.
All right, buddy. And folks, that is our show for today. Please join us next week. I don't know if we're going to fish yet. We will find a place somewhere. Until then, I'm John Gillespie, hoping to see you enjoying John Gillespie's Waters and Woods.